This is day 32 of our Leetcode daily question series, and today's question is average waiting time. In this question, we are given with a 2D vector in which there are n rows for n customers, in which customer I is given as arrival I and time I. So there are two values at every row in the 2D array, and the first value tells about the arrival time of the customer, and the second value is the total time for to prepare the order of the ith customer. Okay, time I is the time needed to prepare the order of the ith customer. When a customer arrives, he gives the chef his order, and the chef starts preparing it once he is idle. So chef will prepare one order at a time only. Okay, and we have to return the average time of all the customers, average waiting time, how much they will wait. We have to determine the average, and solution within 10 to the power minus 5 from the actual answer are all considered accepted. So like in the example, the customer is 1 2 2 5 4 3. So it is also given that the given vector is always sorted on the basis of the first value, which is arrival I. So it is always sorted on the first value, which is the arrival time. So we have to traverse from left to right only, we don't need to sort or anything else. So like in this case, what we can do is, as the first customer arrives at the first time and the total waiting time for that customer is 2. Okay, so what will the completion time of this process of this customer? So completion time for the chef to be idle will be 1 plus 2 equals to 3. So at the time 3, chef will be idle. So when the next customer comes at the at arrival time 2, it won't get the order at 2 plus 5 equals to 7. He will get the order at 3 plus 5 equals to 8, because chef gets idle at time 3. So we have to take the maximum of the previous completion time and the current arrival time, and simply add to the waiting time of that customer. Okay, time needed to prepare the order, which is given on the second input of every row for every customer, and by this we will get the completion time, and after that we can just subtract the completion time by this subtract this value by the completion time to get the waiting time for every point. And after getting waiting time and adding all the waiting time, we can just divide it by the total values, which is n, to get the average. Okay, so simple question, let's code for the same. We have to give the answer as double, so double answer equals to, let's take it as 0. Okay, as we have to add in it, and let's take integer I for traversing. So the initial completion time will be, I can take 1 or 0, anything. So let's take it 0 initial completion time, so that we don't need to worry about the first customer, as we don't know the completion time for the first customer. So let's take it as 0. uh, the chef is idle at the starting, and n can be customer size, the size of the array, which gives the rows of the array. And after this we can simply run a loop for I equals to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. And what we need to do is, first we will calculate the completion time at every point, and then we will simply subtract it with the first value, which is the arrival time, and we will just get the waiting time at every point after that, and we will add into the answer, and at last we will divide the answer by n and just return it. Okay, so what we need to do is, as the completion time, what will be the completion time? It will be the max of previous completion time and current arrival time. So previous completion time was ct, and current arrival time will be the first value of the current row. So first value of the current row can be determined as customers I 0. Okay, so current this is the completion time, or the starting time for the next process. So the new completion time will be, we will get after adding this value, the waiting time for the to prepare the food. Okay, so we will just simply add this value, and what will be this value is the second value of that row. So we can simply paste it and change 0 to 1. Okay, and by this we get completion time. So by this process we will get completion time at every point, and what we need to do is we will just simply subtract the completion time with the first value, which is the arrival time, and so by that we will get the waiting time at every index. Okay, so what we will do to get the waiting time, we will just subtract the ct minus the first value, which is the arrival time. So customers I 0. By this we get the waiting time, and we have to add all the waiting times, so we will just simply write, and the answer will be incremented as this at every point. So by this method we will calculate all the waiting times and add all of them up, and after adding all of them up we have to return the average. So we'll simply divide it by the total number of customers, which is the size of the array. So we have to return answer by n. Okay, so let's write return answer by n. Okay, this should be fine. Let's submit it. Okay, so the code is running well. Thank you for watching.